Well, my story with my E31 started back when I first saw it in an automotive magazine coming out of college. And like most males, as soon as you saw those lines, it's something that immediately had to be on your bucket list. The design of the A pillar, and the no B pillar on the car, and the slope down to the C pillar, instantly you know that this is another absolutely home run by the automotive geniuses at BMW. And then when you get inside that car and you see that instrumentation, it's so functional, it's stark, it's just the basics of what you need as a driver. This E31 is a 97. It's a beautiful grand touring car, type of car that if you're kind of a wine country sort of person, like back roads, this car delivers. As we've discussed many times, I've certainly over my 7 years of ownership have received a lot of pleasure from this car. It's been very well taken care of by its previous owners, as all the service records will show. No expense has ever been left out in caring for this car over the years. Well, with regards to modifications and whatnot, it's all stock. Nothing's really been done other than the recent installation of the wheels. But other than that, the car is basically all stock. I've been fortunate, have never had any problems with it in the electrical area or mechanical area. All necessary maintenance has been done, all wear and tear issues have always been done, and everything has always been carefully done and documented. Also, OEM parts have always been used where appropriate. As you well know, today it's very hard to find certain OEM parts, so sometimes we've even had to go find unique and specialized people who can take the original OEM parts we have today and fix them. For instance, this is very common with regards to door handle issues that come up. So for the most part, it's been treated like a trust fund baby. It's not cheap to keep these cars in what I like to call perfect manufacturing condition, but if you're passionate about these E31s like you are, and myself, and other members here in Southern California of the SoCal 8 Club, that's what you got to do, to really keep these things in their pristine condition. I remember the first time that I was a driver, and probably very similar to a lot of other people's experiences. And that was when I went to Disneyland for the first time, and I was in Autopia. And what was unique about that is that when you put your hand on that steering wheel, you really feel the road, or in this case, the rail. So that was my first impression of what a car is supposed to feel like. When I started practicing to get my first, my license when I was in high school, well, my parents didn't have that type of vehicle. They had, the typical family vehicle. I was surprised that what I had thought a car was supposed to feel like was not what most cars feel like. And it wasn't until I drove my first BMW that I said, I'm back to when I was 6, 7 years old driving in Autopia. And that's the beauty of these cars, that you really, really are given that benefit of you're the driver, okay? The car is not there to dictate to you. It's waiting for you to give the input. This car needs to go to somebody who is absolutely bonkers and nuts about the 8 Series, much like yourself and myself. Somebody who's going to be a custodian of this car, somebody who understands what it takes, what is the responsibility mechanically to maintain this car in the pristine condition that it came from when it was imported into the United States. As you well know, Alec, in 1997 there was only 4 Alpine white parchment interior cars imported. So this is truly a unique car. And because it has been so well maintained and has in essence all its service records, the future owner can trace where it's been worked on and what has been done. Yes, this was originally, this was at one point a Barrett-Jackson car that was sold at a Barrett-Jackson auction, and I still have the documentation and the badge with regards to that. It's part of what the new owner is also going to inherit, along with its extensive service record history. Alec Cardio was introduced to me through my mechanic over at Empower, where the car has been serviced for the most part, during my ownership. And in my experiences with Alec, I can't believe the level of knowledge the level of care, the level of passion that he has for these cars. I thought I was an absolute 8 Series geek. Alec is beyond where I am. And I am so happy that he is going to help me find the new custodian, the right custodian for this vehicle.